Here's the cold open. Type Noise Shonen Shojo might be the most inventive puzzle VN hybrid of 2025, and also the one most sabotaged by its own English script. If your patience for typos is thin, that's the whole ballgame. If you can stomach some rough edges, there's a sharp, unsettling, legitimately clever adventure under the noise. Let's roll it up, set up in one breath. Developed by Dankhearts out on PC, roughly a $20 indie, tested cleanly on Steam Deck by at least one outlet. You're trapped in a distorted Shibuya called Noise Scramble City alongside 6 teens who've had their worst memories erased. Escape means recovering those memories piece by piece through classic point-and-click troubleshooting and a signature system called Noise. Collect memory shards, assemble a quick jigsaw, unlock a flashback that changes what the room lets you do. The fiction and the puzzles braid together. Remembering isn't just lore, it's key to progress. The feel is very escape room. You comb crowded spaces with a scan that subtly glows on interactables. But the screen stays clean, no floating icons shouting "click me." That design choice matters. Environments are claustrophobic collages. Melting chalkboards, wallpaper faces mid-flutter curtains, doors that bend like heat mirages. It's overstimulating on purpose, and the scan keeps it playable without killing the vibe. The only UX snag you'll notice fast is that some leads to another scene objects keep glowing even when the sub-scene is tapped out, which fuels a few wild goose chases. Then come the set pieces, and this is where Type Noise earns its keep. One room riffs on Street Fighter with pattern memorization timing. Another is a chess-adjacent board where fighter jets counter primordial beasts in simple but satisfying logic moves. There's a straight-up trial minigame with evidence presentation that winks lovingly at Ace Attorney. You'll flip photos in mirrors, recycle digital trash with a cheeky icon, and decode card flips while the room itself tries to distract you. When the game leans into these, it sings. When it leans into find only this category scavenger hunts, it's merely fine. Structure-wise, it borrows the right DNA. Think Zero Escape and Danganronpa, minus the body count game show framing. A flowchart lets you chase routes, revisit branches, and lock down a true ending once you've stitched enough lives back together. The difference is tone. This isn't just twist mill shock therapy. It's a story about confronting your past with climactic inevitable dialogues, where you must recall specifics to push someone through their trauma and out the other side. Heavy themes are front and center: sexual assault, suicide, abuse, drugs, toxic relationships, and multiple reviewers flag the need for breaks. It's respectful and earnest without turning into an after-school special. Let's hit the reviewers. RPG fan loved the cast variety and surreal presentation, but blasted the English script even after a patch, citing typos and off-register word choices that puncture serious scenes. The infamous hunging mannequin, name inconsistencies like Zina Zina, and a villain's sachet into a moment that's supposed to be chilling. Game Green, more bullish overall, praised the puzzle variety, references, and emotional throughline, while noting translation issues were acknowledged and being addressed during review. Monster Vine landed in the middle. Stylish art, strong puzzle spread, plenty of awkward phrasing with the dev intending improvements. That triangle of takes maps cleanly. Great design, meaningful themes, localization all over the place. So where does veteran game land? The core is absolutely there. The noise system is a smart pacing valve. Memories gate new interactions so you're not brute forcing solutions. And the flowchart makes backtracking painless. The minigames keep the loop from going stale, and crucially, they tie into the characters' pasts rather than feeling like bolt-ons. The cast is distinctive in silhouette and voice, which matters extra because there's no voice acting. Even the quiet types read differently when they crack. It's the rare VN ensemble where everybody gets a lane, not just 2 leads and a pile of tropes. The knocks go beyond the translation. Difficulty spikes are uneven. With the in-game help guide toggled on, some puzzles become trivial. With it off, a few later callbacks expect a memory palace you may not have built. The text skip logic is inconsistent. Failing a confrontation can mean re-clicking lines you've already seen. And if you live for galaxy brain rug pulls, the macro twists nod so hard at their inspirations that you'll see shapes early. The game's identity rests more on execution than revelation. And yet when it works, it really works. A cramped karaoke maze that drip feeds lore through song puzzles. An arcade branch that weaponizes nostalgia. The art slaps neon anxiety with clean readability, and the soundtrack does its job without stealing the show. The best compliment I can give is that the rooms feel authored. You're not just finding a red key for a red door, you're dredging up why that door exists, then using that knowledge to pry it open. Quick spoiler in 3, 2, 1. The early protagonist fake-out is a nasty effective jolt. The game sets up Xena, rips the rug and hands you Soto, reframing the whole journey and planting seeds for a true ending that recontextualizes Noise Scramble City and a childhood friend named Rin. It's less gotcha than perspective snap, and it works. Spoilers over, now the elephant. Translation matters. Tone is everything in trauma fiction. When a line reads like placeholder or a single wrong word flips a scene from menacing to goofy, the spell breaks. A steady trickle of typos teaches you not to trust the text, which is lethal in a mystery. Could future patches fix it? Sure. Some outlets already saw improvements in flight. Others still found faceplants after an update. That uncertainty is the axis of the buy decision. Here's the call. If you're VN curious and allergic to sloppy English, wishlist it and watch for a confirmed pass that cleans up the worst offenders. If you can read around Clunk and want a dense inventive puzzle box with heart, and you like your horror more surreal than splatter, Type Noise is an easy recommendation now. The design is strong enough that, even with the script stumbles, the rooms and routes kept me engaged across multiple runs. If this kind of no BS deep dive is your thing, hitch a ride with Veteran Game and hit subscribe. If you're nodding or fuming, toss a like so this take survives the algorithm and we can keep doing long-form autopsies on oddball gems. Final spark to argue in the comments. Should a flawed localization sink an otherwise excellent indie, or do we grade on intent when the design and themes land? And if you had to choose, would you prefer a minimal just fix typos pass or a fuller rewrite that risks shifting tone to make everything sing?